Hi, it's me, Tracy, your literary and tea time companion, hoping you will join me this weekend for some cozy time together reading. Or if there is something else that you need to or want to do this weekend, please do join me. I will be doing some writing as well, which I will share more about in a moment. It is also raining. There are some rain showers happening today, so there may be some pitter-patter of raindrops sprinkled throughout the video, which for the weekend, for being cozy together and reading, that sounds absolutely perfect. I love the sound of rain. And I have also been so much enjoying hearing about how much you have enjoyed these videos shared together and what you've been doing, baking, cooking, making your dinner, folding the laundry, reading, journaling, other important things that maybe you need to get done, some work you need to finish. Please do join me here. Let me be a companion with you while we do what needs to be done or just being very cozy with our books. I have some English breakfast tea in my cup to enjoy while I'll be writing in just a moment. I have some work at my desk that I want to do this weekend. So some work first, some tea, and we'll meet back here at the sofa for some cozy book reading and chat time together. I hope you have something really nice to work on today while we have some cozy, quiet time together to work on whatever we need to, or maybe something we need to get done, or just some lovely reading. Today I am working on drafting a knitting pattern, the first draft of a new sock pattern that, if all goes well, I hope will be in my Ravelry shop by the end of June, just in time for summer for us here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I have they're going to be sort of short ankle socks with a pretty lace motif. At least I think it's pretty. And I will be drafting the pattern today. Some might think that knitting patterns don't require a lot of writing. If you have seen a knitting pattern or you know knitting patterns exist or people work with them, but there is actually quite a bit involved in creating a knitting pattern. So you might be forgiven to think there's not much going into it. And there are standards. There's sort of a standard mode of how knitting patterns, even crochet patterns, are presented. But there is actually a lot of nuance and a finesse to presenting a pattern. There is quite a bit of abbreviated content within a knitting pattern, which simplifies work instead of reading something that is a lot of words. But there are words involved in a knitting pattern. And it wasn't until I was creating knitwear patterns myself that I really came to appreciate the writing that is involved for a knitting pattern and how I can use that as another mode of writing, an extra mode of writing. I already love writing, so this is sort of a different kind of writing. And I've really come to enjoy it quite a lot and finding ways to presenting the pattern that is uniquely mine, of course, through just presentation and branding, but also in how I'm presenting the pattern. There are some standardization, of course, especially with abbreviations and those kinds of things. But I do find it a wonderful challenge to write a knitting pattern. And I have a formula of sorts that I use for my own patterns, sort of a template of sorts, but each pattern is unique, and the writing can be very unique for each pattern as well. So I'm going to be working on a first draft for this new sock pattern, and we'll see how we get on. I actually have a chart that will be a part of the pattern for the lace detailing, and that will probably have to be second part. I will have to work on that later as a different part of the pattern and then integrate it within the pattern. My patterns, even most of my designs are for smaller things, accessories, socks, hats, cowls, shawls, things like that. But I'm pretty generous with photos with my patterns. I like to be able to show the best possible result that can be achieved through the pattern with good photos. So I'm generous with photos, and with the written part, they can be anywhere from 6 to 8 pages. So it's quite a lot to consider. So I'm going to get started on my writing today, and let me know how you're getting on with your task or your project or your reading. Let's get started. I had the camera rolling for quite a while, so I got quite a lot done. I will probably have to condense the video just a little bit. I worked for a good 40 minutes, and the first draft has come together really well. I'm really happy with where the pattern is at right now, and I will probably need one more draft, go through the draft at least one more time, and add the chart for the lace motif that makes up a large portion of the sock pattern. The lace detail goes over the leg of the sock and the instep. So it's mostly lace, and it's a fun knit. I've been enjoying it so much. I really enjoyed creating it, and I hope others will enjoy it too. This is looking pretty good. I am really happy with the pattern so far. And I hope that you have been happy with your work or your reading right now. I was really glad to get some good writing time in for this weekend, working on my new knitting pattern and feeling at a good place with that before I can continue with some more work on that into next week. And I'm glad to have some time now to read a little bit. Let me know if you are enjoying this style of video where we read together, but maybe some writing too, or another task. I'm working on a novel right now, so I would be happy to do reading and writing along with you again. And for some reading, I have some very good reading at the top of June. I'm waiting for a couple of other books to arrive through Library Interloan. Right now, I have Paper, Paging Through History by Mark Kurlansky. And he has written so many great works of nonfiction, sort of an investigative style, portraits of very important things involving the human life, from salt, which used to be a commodity greater than gold. It was used like money, and as we know, salt is very important to us for our bodies, a food preservative, for many ways to preserve food. Also, he's written a book on cod, the fish, as well as there's a book I haven't read yet of his about the rise of frozen food in America and how that changed eating in America, which sounds fascinating. But this is about paper. Paper, its origins, everything from why, how, from the ancient to modern times. I have begun just a little bit of it, and I'm really enjoying it very, very much. I enjoy his writing. He has a way of writing that is, it's sort of reportage, but it's also very entertaining to read. So I will read a little bit of this for a bit. This book about paper has very nice paper. This is a pleasure to read as well as a pleasure to the touch. This is such a great book. I'm a paper person. I love stationery. I love books. Anyone who loves books will appreciate this, I think. And it's just so fascinating to learn about the origins of paper, from the very need to have paper because of expansion from being hunters and gatherers as people evolving over time, and to farming, which creates business for some people, needing to keep track of things, records, accounts. That's part of the reason, one of many reasons why paper began. And what I was just reading was really interesting, the methods of creating paper in very ancient China, from materials like mulberry, leaves from mulberry bushes, creating pulp out of hemp, and clothing from rags, other materials to make paper, and the need for the paper, and usually related to religious purposes for creating religious texts. And it's just a fascinating read. I can't wait to read more from this. I felt like some poetry after reading some very good nonfiction, and I'm revisiting All of Us, the collected poems by American writer Raymond Carver, who is a poet as well as a master short story writer. From the library corner, we also have two of the collections of stories of his, What We Talk About, When We Talk About Love, great collection of stories. As well as Call If You Need Me, great titles. This is the uncollected fiction and other prose works by Raymond Carver. These are two Vintage Contemporaries publisher from the early 2000s, so we've had these for quite a while. I love Raymond Carver's short stories. He's been known as the American Chekhov, but I also really love his poetry, and this is a really beautiful collection. I'll just read one that is really lovely. It's set in winter. Yesterday, snow. Yesterday, snow was falling, and all was chaos. I don't dream, but in the night I dreamed. A man offered me some of his whiskey. I wiped the mouth of the bottle and raised it to my lips. It was like one of those dreams of falling, where they say, if you don't wake up before you hit the ground, you'll die. I woke up, sweating. Outside, the snow had quit. But my God, it looked cold, fearsome. The windows were ice to the touch when I touched them. I got back in bed and lay there the rest of the night, afraid I'd fall asleep again, and find myself back in that dream. The bottle rising to my lips, the indifferent man waiting for me to drink and pass it on again. A skewed moon hangs on until morning and a brilliant sun. Before now, I never knew what it meant to spring out of bed, but now I never knew what it meant. All day, snowing, flopping off roofs, the crunch of tires and footsteps. Next door, there's an old fellow shoveling. Every so often he stops and leans on his shovel and resting, letting his thoughts go where they may, staying his heart. Then he nods and grips the shovel. Goes on, yes, goes on. It's a nice piece, I think. I'll read a little bit from this poetry collection for a little while. I love how Raymond Carver's poetry, they're like condensed short stories. I really, really love his poems. And I thought I would just read one more for you. September, it's entitled. September. September, and somewhere the last of the sycamore leaves have returned to earth. Wind clears the sky of clouds. What's left here? Grouse, silver salmon, and the struck pine not far from the house, a tree hit by lightning, but even now beginning to live again. A few shoots miraculously appearing. Stephen Foster's Maggie by My Side plays on the radio. I listen with my eyes far away. Lovely seasonal poem, that one. If you would love some poetry by an American writer, I can really recommend Raymond Carver's All of Us, the collected poems. For the month of June, I have Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility to read. And so far, this is my only Regency period reading for the month. Two other titles I still have not managed to get a hold of through the library interloan. I'm reshuffling my Regency reading list, and I will see if I can get something else for the month of June, but so far I have this, and this could be all that I need. So I am really delighted to be reading this one again after a little while. So I'll have a sip of tea and we will get reading again. I've only just started a little bit. I'm on chapter 12. cute kitty bookmark. Oh, it's so nice to be back with Eleanor and Marianne Dashwood, sensible Eleanor and spirited Marianne. And I do wish there was more of younger sister Margaret in this book. She is really, really charming and fun. I really love this story so much, and I will save more for another time. I'm just really happy to be back in these pages of Sense and Sensibility. For some fun reading, a little bit of manga, I finished volume 16 of Vampire Knight by Matsuri Hino, and still continuing to enjoy this manga series very much. I think there are only 3 more volumes left, so I'm gobbling this one up. I can take this back to the library. I am also I'm nearing halfway volume 12 of Spy Family by Tatsuya Endo, and really enjoying this one a lot. It is such a fun read, so I will read a little bit of fun manga before we close for today. The dog, Bond. He is so cute. I love Bond. So much fun. Spy family. What can I say? I have enjoyed our time together so much today. Thank you for joining me for time writing and reading. Let me know if you did enjoy this combination of reading and writing. I would be delighted to share some time doing some writing sprints along with having our tea and our reading and our book chats together. And let me know in the comments what you've been working on while we've been having time together. If it's been reading, what have you been reading? If you've been working on something, maybe you've been writing too, or making some art. I would love to hear about that. Or making your dinner, what you've been baking, or folding the laundry. Please do share what you've been doing along with me today, how I've been able to keep you company on this weekend. And I just wanted to also say a great big thanks to all of you who have newly subscribed in recent days. I am so thankful and truly humble of all the new subscribers, and that this channel is finding a heart within your heart, and that we can share time together this way. And also, just a little reminder that I do put out a post in the post section every week, usually on Wednesday. So there's a little extra there for you every week if you need something. Usually it's book related. Most often it is book related. And just a little extra tip there. And so until next time, I wish you happy reading, and as always, many blessings. I'll see you again very soon.